Hi guys! So today I'm at you with Midoriko inspired. Or Midoriko or Midoriko. I don't know. I watched English dub of Inuyasha. I am actually still on my break, but I really wanted to kind of talk about my theories about the last episode. So, you know, my spark is back, guys. My spark is back. Anyways, so I just want to talk about it. And again, please listen to my feelings. Obviously, these are just my theories and stuff like that. Nothing is, you know, proven. Nothing is 100% accurate. You're free to disagree, agree, whatever, add on to my theories. Just let me know respectfully in the comments below whatever you guys think. Anyways, I don't know why I'm out of breath. Oh my god. First off, I want to talk about how my kind of theory in the past is debunked. So basically, I originally thought that Riku has the same as like the Perils, but I don't think that's true anymore because of this last episode. So basically, I really thought that Kyuki and Riku had the same plan, and then Riku's just like, I'm gonna do it first, you know? But I don't think that's the case anymore because in the last episode, the Perils really wanted to defeat like Inudad or Inuyasha and take over the West, right? With Kirinmaru, and the Perils wanted to take advantage of Inudad's like weakness because he defeated Shishinki and Ryokotse, which left him really gravely injured and stuff like that. So he's like basically like dying. And the Perils were like, this is our chance. If we defeat him, we can take over the West, right? But obviously Kirinmaru, I guess, is very stubborn and he has honor, which I admire. And I really think this is where like Inudad and like Kirinmaru kind of sit neck and neck because they don't, I guess you could say they have pride enough to be like, hey, I'm going to take over the West in a proper way. I want to fight fairly. I don't want to, you know, be weak enough to take advantage of the fact that Toga or Inuyasha or Inudad is weak and stuff like that. I want to fight fairly because I know I'm strong enough to, instead of, you know, being like a pussy and then like just waiting till he's like weak and stuff like that to defeat him. So that was basically the Perils plan, I believe. So Kyuki's motives, basically Kyuki had like a deep interest in the modern era, how she was going to betray Kirinmaru by collecting all the pearls, and I originally thought that that was like Riku's plan, but I'm not sure if that is exactly his plan because Kyuki wanted to, and the Perils wanted to take over the West and stuff like that. So maybe after like Inudad or Toga's death, maybe Kirinmaru was kind of mourning his death because maybe they were really friends. Maybe like as friends, he was like, I'm going to take over the West. I'm going to do it fairly because I have respect for Inudad and I have respect for myself, you know? And then like maybe, I guess you could say current times in the feudal era, Kirinmaru wasn't acting on taking over the West even though Toga died, because obviously the title is supposed to be passed on to Sesshomaru, but obviously Sesshomaru renounced the title. So just like, what is happening? Like, it's kind of obvious that Kirinmaru didn't take over the West, and I guess you could say the West still belongs to like Inudad or whatever and his family. Because Sesshomaru renounced his title, it's just like, what's kind of going on there, right? What is Kirinmaru making Sesshomaru do, right? What is the task that Kirinmaru gave to Sesshomaru, right? Maybe Kirinmaru wasn't acting on taking over the West, and like maybe he wanted to like fight Sesshomaru at his full power. Obviously, considering Sesshomaru was like young, right? He's like a lot younger than Inudad and Kirinmaru. So obviously, I guess in the past, I guess before, you know, like the final acts era where he got Bakusaiga, I don't think Sesshomaru was really, I guess you could say, worthy enough to like fight Kirinmaru or like take over the West, because obviously he was armless. Yeah, so like again, what is the task that Kirinmaru gave to Sesshomaru to do? And I'm really wondering what it is. And if you guys have an idea, let me know in the comments below. I really want to read what you guys think. So yeah, and maybe like Kyuki heard of the prophecy. One of you guys said basically in the comments, one of you guys, or maybe Pear Bear, I don't remember, like someone, not me, but someone said that the prophecy, what if the prophecy, there's more to it, right? Than just like Kirinmaru's gonna die this way. Maybe after like Toga died, it confirmed the prophecy from the Pearl saying that like, hey, all the demons, no matter how strong you are, they're all gonna be wiped out one day. Kyuki like heard of the prophecy, and then she wanted to go into the modern era and like see the modern era to see if the modern era carried demons, since she was so obsessed with like the modern era and stuff like that, like Towa's world or whatever, right? Like that would make sense. And then another thing, Perils hate Riku and vice versa. versa. So it's clear that Kirinmaru really favors Riku over the Perils despite being a failed project, which makes me really confused because Riku's always like, I was casted away from my master and stuff like that, but Kirinmaru still sees Riku as his most trusted pupil. Riku's still supposedly doing tasks for Kirinmaru, right? So just like, to Riku, obviously he has like a persona in front of like Zero, Kirinmaru, and like the Perils. It was kind of proven when he was with Kanton, when Kanton was making the trap or whatever. But then obviously with Tatetsu and then Kyuki, when he was like, I'm actually gonna kill you this time, he showed his true self, like his true power and stuff like that, right? I just think it's really odd how Riku himself was like, I'm a double agent, right? Like I said in the past, he's definitely a double agent. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if this video is so confusing. I didn't plan it as like much as how I usually do it because I'm supposed to be on break. I'm not supposed to be like, you know, stressing over this. So take this video as like talking to your friend, I guess you could say. So yeah, again, Riku says that he's been casted away from his master, but Kirinmaru sees him as his most trusted pupil. So it's like Riku is definitely still a double agent. He has his own plan, while like Kirinmaru and Zero sees him as like still on their side, I guess you could say. But like, I guess Riku feels like he's been casted away and he's not really a part of them maybe. And then we also see Zero's like kind of reaction to how the Perils wanted Kirinmaru to defeat Toga at his weakest and stuff like that. At this point in the story, I guess you could say, in the timeline, Zero is still like her real self with like emotions and stuff like that. And like she sees like Kirinmaru is really stubborn and stuff like that and like lets him get his way. And it seems like she sees like she's amused by it. She's just like, haha, like Kirinmaru is so stubborn, like he's not gonna like, you know, take the easy route or whatever. But you know, it is what it is, which is really interesting. So this is the part where like everyone is like, oh, like Zero's crying over Inudad or Toga's death, right? I don't think it's because Zero had feelings for Inudad. I really don't think so. I see it as like she's not really mourning the fact that, oh my god, I loved you and like you're gone now. Like oh my god. I think she's crying because she fears death. And again, like what one of you guys said in the comments, I really think this might be the prophecy, like the whole part of the prophecy, that like all the demons will die one day. And like she's like afraid of it. She was like terrified that death will come upon her one day. And like because Inudad died, like even like one of the strongest like demons, the ruler of the West, his life came to an end and she's afraid of that. So I think the reason why Inudad humiliated Zero, which we did see in like episode, I forgot what episode it is, but like the flashback episode where Riku's telling the story. Zero is just like, oh, as one humiliated by your father, blah 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 blah. So I think the reason why Inudad humiliated Zero is because she feared death. I really definitely think she fears death. Because she feared death, she was like, I'm gonna live forever because I have the sacred jewel shard, haha. And because she had like the jewel in her possession, or like she was like, I'm strong because I have the jewel, la la la. Maybe Toga was like, oh, you're weak because you rely on the power of the jewel, and like the fact that you fear death, you're not like a true warrior. Because I guess like true warriors are just like, I don't fear death, I will fight till I die because I have honor and stuff like that, right? It's like Toga never really feared death, especially when he was fighting for Izayoi and for Inuyasha, because he believed that, you know, like Sesshomaru, you have like someone to protect, blah blah blah, right? Like that was where his strength was. He fought so strong because he had people to protect. He had the West to protect from Shishinki, Ryokotse, or whatever, right? So the people that the demons that he's ruling. And then he has his family as well, his like, so yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see Inudad. I'm interested in seeing how his personality is, because we finally get to see it after all these years. We finally get to see it, and I really think he might be a mix of Inuyasha and Sesshomaru, but I really think he's more like Sesshomaru. I said this in a past video, but I really think Toga used to be like, he used to hate humans maybe, and then like Izayoi helped him love like all creatures and love humans and stuff like that. So I really think he's more like Sesshomaru, but I think it'd be really funny and cute if he was like comedic like Inuyasha and stuff like that, which I would freaking love. So either or I would love anyway, so I'm really excited to see him. I'm so excited to see him. Anyways, so Inudad! Look how spicy he's looking! Woo! The quote that really stood out to me in this episode is, "Those who are loved are fated to end in beauty." And that's a quote that Zero says after Riku mentions that Izayoi and Inuyasha escaped. They didn't die in the fire, right? I have a theory that that quote, "Those who are loved are fated to end in beauty," came from Toga. And I feel like she just said it again during that time. I think in the preview, like we see them like talking, like Zero, Inudad, and Kirinmaru. And I think that's where he humiliated her and was like, yo, like, you're relying on the jewel. You fear death? Like, you're weak and stuff like that. You weak. Maybe Zero was just like, yo, like, why aren't you scared of death? You have all this like riches, you own all this stuff, blah 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 blah. You rule the West. Why aren't you afraid of death and stuff like that? Maybe he was like, those who are loved are fated to end beauty. So, and I think that kind of means if you love someone or you have love in your life and there's someone who loves you, if you die, that your legacy will be carried on by those who loved, or you will be always remembered by those who loved, or by the way you died. I guess like your life was always filled with, you know, love and a reason, right, in your life and stuff like that. So I really think that that quote came from Toga maybe. And then after hearing that Izayoi and Inuyasha survived, I think that's when Zero really understood that quote, "Those who are loved are fated to end in beauty." And I think because, again, Inudad died with honor, fighting for the West, fighting Takimaru of Setsuna to save his son and to save Izayoi, I think that was freaking beautiful. He died in honor, and I love Toga for that, I guess you could say, even though he's barely in the freaking show, but like I love him. Okay, again, I'm really excited to see him next episode. Maybe she's like similar to Kikyo in that way, where she doesn't feel like she's lived the life that she wanted to live, right? Maybe she doesn't want to be demon. Maybe she feels like she was never really loved by anyone. Maybe she's afraid of dying lonely because of Toga's quote, "Those who are loved are fated to end in beauty." And maybe because she doesn't feel like she was loved, she didn't live like a beautiful life, she'll be forgotten after death, stuff like that. And maybe that's like what she's really afraid of, versus Toga died in honor, which was freaking beautiful. Yes. And I think this leads to another thing. Riku cares or really loves Zero, and I really think so. Loves, quote unquote loves, but I'll explain quote unquote love in a second. But so that's where I think Riku comes in. I think Riku really cares for Zero and possibly loves her because he took care of him when he was like, I guess shunned, or he felt shunned as a failed project. But it's really confusing because I don't really think he entirely was shunned, because Kirinmaru was like, yo, like, you're my favorite, I guess, like, don't tell the Perils, but you're my favorite. Okay, so yeah, so I think that Riku might try to gather the pearls, obviously, as he said, to give them back to Zero, to restore Zero as her former self, and to kill her to show her that she was loved and so she could die in beauty. I think that that's really like, it's just like really confusing, but I think that might be it, like I said in my reaction video. But yeah, so like Riku would constantly be like, oh, that's pretty, those are really pretty, those are beautiful. Like when Zero was crying, he was like, what are those like coming from your eyes? They're so pretty. The pearls, when they came out, he was like, those are so pretty. While Zero was just like, what the heck, like these tears pretty? You think these are pretty? You have poor taste, use your head and stuff like that. He's like, what? Head? Yeah, so I really think that Riku loves Zero as her true self with her true emotions, while Zero doesn't think, like, I guess you could say crying and having emotions is attractive at all. Had her emotions and stuff like that taken away, which led to the creation of the pearls. So the creation of Riku, I think he was created freshly back when like Toga died. During that flashback, I think that's when I think Riku was like kind of like born or like created not long before that like scene, I guess you could say. Throughout that whole like flashback scene, it really seemed like Riku was continuously learning things like oh, like love, like pretty, like that's not pretty. Like I think because it has been 200 years, I think Riku was constantly learning by himself, right? Like about the things around him, the things that were like being said to him. He's like absorbing all this information and learning constantly throughout the whole 200 years, which really explains why he's so like smart and big brain now. But I think at the end of the day, because he is a doll, right? He's not really a human, he's not really a demon that has like feelings. I think that's where he kind of struggles with. So it kind of reminds me of like Violet Evergarden, I guess you could say, because she was like a freaking doll, right? Used by the military. She knew nothing about like emotions. All she knew was to fight. Well, I guess that was like the original reason why maybe Riku was created, like as like a vessel, maybe in replace of like the Perils, because the Perils suck and like Kirinmaru doesn't like them. So maybe like Kirinmaru made Riku in the likeness of him, but like it was a fail because it wasn't exactly like him. Like he had no like brain or whatever, no emotion. And then I think throughout the 200 years, I guess you could say, with Riku's like kind of like constantly learning, still has a hard time with like feelings and what love really is, right? His policy to kill only the ones he loves, right? So that would like tie again with maybe he is trying to kill Zero because it's talking about the woman that took care of him. Possibly he does love Zero. He wants to kill her to show her his love or to make her feel loved or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he just struggles with like whatever love is. I wanna know what love is. With Riku constantly learning, maybe like even Kirinmaru like taught him stuff like the teacher in the modern era. And Towa describes Kirinmaru like as how Riku explained Kirinmaru as a romanticist. So a romanticist is not someone like romantic and stuff like that, but it's like basically a writer, an artist, or a musician in the romantic movement. So the romantic movement is basically like an era in like art and stuff like that was like artistic, literary, musical, and intellectual, and it was originated in Europe towards the end of the 18th century. So it's just basically explaining that Kirinmaru is someone who is like wow, the life, he likes literacy and art and stuff like that. Like wow, life is deep. Which kind of reminds me of the freaking teacher again. Hello. I really think maybe Kirinmaru did teach Riku a lot of things as if he was his own son. Again, like another thing, maybe he was made in his likeness, maybe as a son. Maybe in replace, Kirinmaru couldn't have a son and then created Riku as a doll, but then Riku wasn't like, he was like, what? So then like maybe like Kirinmaru, you know, because he trusts him so much, and then basically raised him, taught him all these stuff, which makes sense. Like if he is really into like romanticism, literature, and stuff like that, poetry, it would really make sense why, especially because this movement was created in Europe, it would really relate to why Riku quotes like the Bible and stuff like that. And then it really relates to the teacher again, who quotes English proverbs and stuff like that. Like there's more connection with them, so much more connection. I just really wonder why Riku feels like he was casted away, you know, while clearly Kirinmaru thinks otherwise. But then again, Riku is like, yo, like we want the same thing, so I'm distancing myself. I'm gonna stay away, but we want the same thing. And I really wonder what exactly that one thing is. Why was Riku created? Maybe as a better minion as Perils, or was he created as the double of Kirinmaru, or maybe like his son? Maybe he came out really powerful but had no brains, so like it was a failed project in that way where he didn't come out perfect, but maybe Kirinmaru still kind of accepted him in a way and then tried to teach him things about life and blah, blah, blah. Or maybe like Riku just, maybe Kirinmaru didn't really teach him stuff, but like maybe Riku just like learned like a father, like just mimicking him, you know, that's why they're so similar as well. Or maybe they created Riku with the power of the sacred jewel, but obviously the jewel doesn't grant your real wish, so maybe he was like, I want a son, and then like freaking Pinocchio came out, and then they're like, oh my god, this is not the son I wanted. You know, so it makes sense if they use the power of the jewel during that time. Maybe because Kirinmaru couldn't love anyone, or maybe Zero couldn't love anyone, so like they didn't like have kids. I guess you could say Kirinmaru just made one. So what does Riku really want? Riku says in this episode that he wants the same thing that Kirinmaru wants, and he's distancing himself from them, but Kirinmaru is not aware, right? He's not aware. He still sees Riku like, oh my god, like Riku's like my best boy, you know, like better than the Perils. Like I trust him so much. But then like Kirinmaru's like, oh my god, bro, I'm gonna take what he wants because I don't know, I have my own plans, I guess you could say. Again, Riku acts weak in front of the Perils, in front of Kantan more specifically, until he's like actually willing to kill them and stuff like that. So in this episode, Towa asks Riku, like, what do you want from Kirinmaru? And then he's like, the rainbow pearls, of course. But in a past episode, I think Towa asked the same freaking question, and he was like, yo, Riku, like, what do you want from Kirinmaru? And then she's like, the pearls? You want the pearls from him? Riku was like, nah, Kirinmaru has something I want. I think that's the true answer. I don't think Kirinmaru really has. I don't think Kirinmaru. There's three. Who has the last pearl again? Yeah, so the girls have the pearls. So like at the end of the day, Kirinmaru doesn't even have pearls, man. The girls have the last pearls. I hope I'm doing math right. Yeah, so like I think the past answer where Riku's like, I don't want the pearls, but Kirinmaru has something I want, right? So that kind of leads to my past theory. It's like, does Riku want time travel, like the ability to time travel, or like just the pearls to have Zero's demonic power. I hope this all makes sense. I'm just saying all my feelings. Oh my god. Okay, so the pearls were created from Zero's tears. Zero was like, oh my god, emotions. I'm gonna take away my demonic energy, my heart and emotions. And then after the pearls are created, she becomes like some like monotone state with no emotion. She's just like, I'm no longer a demon. Woo. I'm not sad about anything. Woo, right? So like she does that because she doesn't want to feel grief or live in fear that one day she will die, possibly. So this connects to the possible like prophecy that you guys said, that the jewel might have said that all the demons will die one day, and her wish was maybe to remove herself from that prophecy. But as we know that the sacred jewel doesn't really grant your real wish, so how has the outcome of the wish, how has it been altered, right? Because she's like, feel the grief and emotions and I don't want my demonic energy, while in the next episode, as we see in the preview, she does have like some demonic power. She's using it against like Moroku, unless that's some like, you know, like jutsu thing. I don't freaking know, but it still seems like she has power of some sort. So maybe like the jewel didn't really actually make her not demon, or maybe she's like a human with like spiritual power, like really strong spiritual power now. I don't know. She's still demon, but it's just so odd. And another thing, Riku talks about how Zero talks about humans a lot and their beauty, how those who are loved and beauty, and he compares like human lives and how they wither away like after not that very long compared to demons, I guess you could say, to like the fireflies, and how, you know, even if you remember the Grave of the Fireflies, how short their lifespan is. So comparing from like demons to humans, demons see human lives as like fireflies. They see how quickly it goes by. The reason why Zero thinks it's so beautiful is because even living so short, they find the beauty in life, while demons, maybe they live for so long, they still have a hard time finding beauty and stuff like that in life compared to herself. So I don't know. How has her wish, her true wish, become altered? The sacred jewel never grants you a wish. So how has her wish been altered? She was like, I don't want to feel grief or live or have this like demonic energy or this heart. She obviously still has her heart, her physical heart. She's still demon. She just her I guess you could say a lot of her demonic energy is gone. So maybe she wished that because she doesn't want to be like a part of that. She doesn't want to, you know, feel the grief of knowing that one day she'll die, because she doesn't want to accept it. That leads me into another question where it's just like, how did the pearls become dispersed, right? Because like after she created the pearls, they were like all together with the jewel and stuff like that. So like, where did the jewel go after this incident? Like, who got the jewel after? And how did the Perils, Lady Joka, and Riku end up having like a pearl? How did they end up obtaining the pearl? Like, who dispersed it and what caused it to become dispersed? And because of Kantan, because Kantan was like, yo, like the pearls, like you don't even know you're gonna be dealing with these pearls. Like if they're all together, it's going to create some like crazy power, blah 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 blah, right? So just like there must have been some instance in the past where someone got all of the powers of the pearls and then like did some like crazy shit with it, which led it to be dispersed. So I really wonder who did that. I mean, I could say, oh, maybe it was Riku who did it and then they ended up dispersing it and that's why he was like casted away. But again, it seems like Kirinmaru in his side of the story didn't really cast away Riku because he has so much trust in him. So it's just like all of that is in Riku's head. So then just like, who took all of the 7 pearls and had some crazy power which led it to become dispersed and like was determined all of the pearls together as really really dangerous and stuff like that. So I wonder what went down with that, right? And I really wonder where the jewel went after the possession of, you know, Zero and Kirinmaru. Like where did it go? Like who had the sacred jewel after? And then like, you know, how did it get to the demon slayers? And then it went to Kikyo, and then Kikyo was like, burn it with my body, and then Kagome was like, oh my god, I have this thing in my body, yay. So it's just like, I wonder how like things from that point led to the main series, right? So I really wonder. And then yeah, so another thing that I guess you could say Riku kind of lies to Towa about, he says that the pearls were never gathered before, but it's a lie because he was there when it was gathered, unless he doesn't remember it. But I'm pretty sure he does remember it because in the beginning he was like, oh my god, that was like 200 years ago, right? He just lied to Towa. Yeah, sus. Anyways, at the least, he was just like, you know, what if all of the pearls together will create a degenerate age? Or what if the degenerate age has already begun? Maybe it actually has already begun because, you know, Kirinmaru was like, yo, Sesshomaru, you have this job. You have this job I want you to do, which no one really knows what it is. But then he's just like, I'm just joking. I actually want to collect all the pearls to return them to its rightful owner, aka Zero. So I think this all leads to how Zero is acting now, right? So like how she wants to kill the twins and stuff like that and all half demons and stuff like that to protect Kirinmaru. I think because like maybe obviously the jewel said, yo, like Kirinmaru's gonna die because of something that is not human nor demon and can transcend time, right? So like that's why she wants to kill, I guess you could say, the half demons, because I think she just concluded that makes sense. It's just like, oh, the half demons, blah blah blah. She wants to protect Kirinmaru, her brother, from death, right? Because I guess you could say that's all she could do right now. And again, like I said, again, also like in my reaction video, she probably also got her emotions removed so she can think level-headedly instead of like crying all the time, because like same girl, same. This also leads again, if the true prophecy, like you guys said, is that Zero is so afraid of is that all the demons one day will die and I guess like humans will strive to live. What if it's the comet, right? So like I know everyone was saying this, but like what if it really is the comet? Because the comet appears every 500 years. It transcends time. So maybe in the modern era, we're gonna get a freaking comet episode whenever Towa goes back, because I really think 500 years is really specific. And 500, you know, between the modern era and the feudal era, it's just so specific. It's like that 500 years is no coincidence. They didn't choose some random number and have this whole random comet like segment for no reason, right? So I really think like you guys, like I'm pretty sure a lot of people believe as well that the comet, obviously it's not human, probably not demon, it's some alien shit. It's gonna kill all the demons. So like maybe it's not really Kirinmaru specifically, but maybe it's like all of the demons, because it kind of like relates to the dinosaur age, like in real life. I guess you could say that the theory that there was like a asteroid or whatever that came onto Earth and destroyed all of the demons. I mean, not the demons, the dinosaurs, which led to some species surviving, and then the Earth ended up thriving, and it is what it is today. So I think it kind of relates to that. I think that's what they're trying to relate it to, like freaking demons are freaking dinosaurs here, because it's like, because demons do take so like live so long, right, that it doesn't make sense that there's no demons in the modern era. And I think that's what they're trying to really talk about here, because that really never made sense. Why are there no demons in the modern era? And I think that's what the purpose of the show is trying to explain. So like the freaking comet, not demon, not human, maybe it's not specifically Kirinmaru that it's gonna kill, but maybe all of the demons. But then it kind of contradicts what like Riku said. She's like, oh, like you guys have to defeat Kirinmaru and Sesshomaru. You need the power to transcend time to defeat them, right? I don't know where that kind of lead to, but the whole degenerate age, like how they're trying to return things to the degenerate age, might lead to that. Maybe the point of it is like not really defeating Sesshomaru and Kirinmaru, but they have to go to the modern era or something and then like save the world by killing really the comet or something. I don't know. I don't really know. Oh, my brain. I'm trying to on the spot theorize. But yeah, that's all I had to say. 3 pages of notes here, but that's all of my ideas and thoughts on because of the last episode and stuff like that. If you guys have any like thing to add, or if you have total other like theory and stuff like that, let me know in the comments below. I would love to read it. I love reading theories because I don't know, it's so interesting, and I like integrating your theories with my theories and then seeing you guys integrate my theories with your theories. So it's really cool to see that. So I don't know, it's fun. These are all my thoughts. I really hope that it's not too messy or confusing. Check out my reaction to episode 21. I really enjoyed that reaction. It's really funny. Join the Discord. We talk about inuyasha stuff sometimes on there. I try my best to reply to everyone and like trying to engage my best. But we also have watch parties every Friday, 8 p.m. EST. Every Friday night we watch 2 movies. Follow my Twitter. I tweet a lot about like inuyasha memes and YashaHime memes and stuff like that, and just like life things in general. And my Instagram as well. I also have art accounts and anime accounts if you guys want to follow those too. But also have my post notification on, and don't forget to subscribe because I don't have an upload schedule and I'm trying to take it easy because I don't want to be like burnt chicken again. But yeah, huge thank you to you guys who watch my videos, enjoy them, and I don't know, just interact with me in general. Made this whole pandemic so much easier and watching YashaHime a lot more fun, even though like, you know, yeah, you guys know this outro is so long. But huge thank you to you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.